Hi, welcome to Quietly Thinking Out Loud. Sometimes we think we know someone very well. We may have known them for 10 years, 20 years, or perhaps most of our lives. We know their habits, their stories, the things that make them laugh, and the experiences that shape them. Because of that history, we believe we understand who they are. Then something happens. They make a decision, respond to a situation, or treat us in a way we never expected. And suddenly we find ourselves asking, is this really who they are? Or have they always been this person and I simply didn't see them clearly? Sometimes a person changes. Life changes people. Success, disappointment, responsibility, pressure, and loss can bring out parts of us that others have never seen. But sometimes the person didn't suddenly become someone else. Perhaps we had seen the sides of them before, only it was directed towards other people. We may have watched how they treated a colleague, another friend, a former partner, or someone in their family. We noticed certain behavior. We heard the stories. Someone may even have warned us, but we believe in our own judgment. So we thought perhaps there's more to the story, or they would never do that to me. We have known each other for too long. And that is an interesting belief, isn't it? We somehow believe that the length of a relationship gives us special protection from another person's behavior. We believe our shared history makes us different. Perhaps we saw them behave badly towards someone else, but we explained it away. Like maybe the other person had done something to deserve it, or maybe there had been a misunderstanding, or maybe our friend was going through a difficult time, or maybe it was only one unfortunate situation. And we can become very creative when protecting the picture we have of someone. And because they have always treated us differently, we assume we are the exception. And until one day that we are not. And I experienced this in a friendship. I had seen how this person treated other people. Someone had also warned me, but I thought I understood the person and the situation well enough to make my own judgment. After all, we had known each other for a long time. Surely, our friendship was different. Eventually, however, I experienced the same behavior I had seen directed toward others. And after we were no longer friends, I began recalling different situations from over the years. Things I had once dismissed suddenly made sense. Moments that had seemed unimportant began connecting with one another. And honestly, I laughed. I laughed at how blind that I had been. Not because the experience was funny, but because the picture became so obvious once I was standing outside the relationship. And while I was still inside it, I had an explanation for everything. Perhaps I had not completely failed to see the signs. I had noticed more than I admitted to myself, but I kept giving those signs meanings that allowed the friendship to remain intact. Trust can make us patient, affection can make us forgiving, and a long history can make us excellent defense lawyers for another person. So we explain, we justify, we provide evidence on their behalf even when nobody has access to. But knowing someone for a long time isn't necessarily the same as seeing them clearly. Time tells us how long someone has been in our life. It doesn't automatically tell us who they are. Of course, none of us should be defined by one bad decision or one difficult moment. Human beings are complicated. We can be patient in one situation and unreasonable in another. We can be generous when life is easy and less generous when we are under pressure. We can make mistakes, recognize them, and change. And a single action doesn't always reveal someone's entire character, but repeated behavior is different. When we repeatedly see someone avoid responsibility, blame others, betray confidence, discard people, or become unkind when they no longer need something from them, that is information. We shouldn't ignore that information simply because the behavior has not yet been directed toward us. The way people treat others matters, even while they are treating us well. At work, we may see a manager blame other employees whenever something goes wrong. But because we have a good relationship with that manager, we believe they will protect us. Perhaps they will, until protecting themselves becomes more important. In a family, we may watch someone leave responsibilities to everyone else, but assume they will step forward when we truly need them. Perhaps they will, or perhaps we will discover that the pattern remains the same. Among friends, we may see someone repeatedly in relationships without conversation or explanation, yet we believe our friendship is different because it has lasted much longer. Sometimes it is different. People can learn, mature, and change. But sometimes we were never the exception. We simply had not yet been placed in a situation that would reveal the same pattern. As for couples, seeing someone differently can be even more complicated. Two people may have committed to building a future together, only to discover years later that the relationship or the person beside them is not what they once believed. The realization may not only be, this person is not who I thought they were. It may also be, the life we plan is not the life I am living. And walking away from a partnership is rarely as simple as walking away from a friendship. There may be children, a home, financial responsibilities, extended families, shared dreams, and many years of life woven together. There may also still be affection, kindness, and good memories alongside the disappointment. Some people may tell themselves, perhaps this is simply what life as a couple becomes. They accept the situation, adjust, their expectations and remain. Others may reach a point where they decide that staying would cost them too much of themselves. From outside, the relationship people may quickly say, you should leave, or you should stay and work through it. And advice is often easy when we don't have to live with its consequences. The people inside the relationship are the ones who must carry what follows, whichever decision they make. Life is not a straight line, and human beings are complicated. Sometimes people change, sometimes we change. Sometimes the relationship no longer fits the people we have become, and sometimes the relationship was built partly around a pictures of the person that no longer matches the person standing in front of us. There may not be one correct answer for every couple, but perhaps we owe ourselves the honesty to see the relationship as it is, not only as it once was, or as we still hope it might become. The questions may not be only should I stay or leave. It may also be, am I accepting the reality of a complicated relationship, or am I abandoning too much of myself to preserve it? That is not a question another person can easily answer for us. Sometimes what breaks is not only the relationship, it is the picture we carried of the person. And when that picture breaks, we may turn the disappointment toward ourselves. How could I not have seen it? Why didn't I listen when someone warned me? Why did I believe I would be treated differently? But I don't think the answer is to punish ourselves for trusting. We made our decisions using what we understood at the time. Perhaps we wanted to be fair. Perhaps we knew that every story has more than one side. Perhaps we believed that years of friendship, partnership, or shared experience meant something. Those are not terrible qualities. The lesson is not become suspicious of everyone. It isn't to enter every relationship waiting for the other person to disappoint us. That would allow one painful experience to take too much from us. The lesson is to see more clearly. We can remain kind without ignoring patterns. We can give people the benefit of the doubt without giving them endless excuses. We can listen to warnings without accepting them blindly and without dismissing them merely because they conflict with what we want to believe. And when someone repeatedly shows us how they treat other people, perhaps we should pay attention. Not because they will certainly treat us in exactly the same way, but because our relationship with them doesn't place us outside their character. Then comes forgiveness. Not only forgiving the other person if we choose to, but forgiving ourselves. When I talk about forgiving ourselves, I don't mean forgetting the experience. I don't mean pretending that nothing happened or returning to the relationship as it was. Forgiveness is not erasing the record. It is ending the punishment. An experience may leave a scar. The scar reminds us that something happened and that we learn from it. It may never disappear completely, but the pain doesn't have to remain forever. The pain can fade without, or while the lesson stays. Perhaps that is what healing looks like, not forgetting, but remembering without having to suffer from the memory each time. The sooner we understand what happened and stop fighting ourselves over it, the sooner the pain can begin to loosen its hold. And looking back now, I can laugh at some of the explanations I once created. I can see the signs I overlooked and the picture I protected. But I can also look at the person I was with compassion. She trusted someone she had known for a long time. She believed friendship carried loyalty and responsibility. And when she finally saw the relationship more clearly, she learned from it and moved forward. Sometimes we are surprised by people because they have changed. Sometimes circumstances reveal a side of them we had never encountered before. And sometimes, if we are honest, we had already seen that side in the way they treated others. We simply believed they would never treat us that way. We thought we were the exception. Perhaps the quiet lesson is this: pay attention to how people treat those from whom they have nothing to gain and those they no longer need. Allow people to show you that they can change, but don't invent that change on their behalf. See the person in front of you, not only the picture you have carried of them. And if you later discover that you were wrong, forgive yourself. Keep the lesson. Let the pain go when you are ready. And allow the scar to remind you not to close your heart, but to see with clearer eyes. Well, thank you for being here with me. Until next, take care.